Hey IronCrown team, we're at the Abbey Medieval Festival 2022 and we just got back from the field fighting. I'm with the Knights Empire Germanica. I'm here with Sean, who's the Hochmeister, the President, the leader of Teutonic Knights. And Sean, I want to ask you a few things about Knights Empire Germanica and what the group is, what they do and where they're going.
By all means, fire away.
Sean, can you tell us what the group tries to portray?
Well, we create the Teutonic Knights and their inception from 1190 right through to their major military defeat in 1410. We strive to recreate their martial aspects as well as the living history side of it as well. We focus a lot on the combat and the armour, as you can see by the displays behind us. We also work to increase our depiction of just the eating areas, you know, something as simple as the tents, the furnishings that we have in said tents. Always sort of trying to increase our impersonation.
At this point, you guys might be wondering, what relevance does reenactment have to IronCrown Workshop and what we do here, the forging and the investigation of history and armour? Well, KEG was the first reenactment group that I ever joined. They're a great group of people passionate about the investigation of history, the execution of combat and martial arts, and bringing that all together for both public displays and for private events that we run here from time to time. In fact, these Dargan helms, just like the one you can see us making here on the channel, were made for the Knights Empire Germanica, and they're dated from around 1270, based off a German great helm. So perhaps they were even used by a Teutonic Knight in Eastern Europe at the height of their power, around 1270 AD, fighting the pagans, driving them out. And how cool is it we get to make armour for reenactors?
The Teutons weren't the first of the military orders to be formed over in the Holy Lands, but they were one of the first few. But by the time they were founded, most of the land in the Holy Lands had already been distributed. They were given one spot, but it was circled in by Templars and were unable to expand. Unhappy with this, they've, with the permission of Pope, they've taken the Crusades to the heart of Europe, into the Baltic region, to fight the pagan,
Like
Lithuanian lands, initially into Transylvania. But after being kicked out of there, after succeeding and getting kicked out of there, they've moved to Lithuanian.
Fight Dracula.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah,
oh, that's
no vampires.
Oh.
Yeah. Not only were they a military order much later than a lot of the others, they're still active today as a non-military order or as a charity order. Fighting in Europe was quite fashionable for the rest of visiting knights. It was popular enough that Chaucer mentions it in the Canterbury Tales, how popular it was for visiting knights
That's fascinating.
to come and sign up for the Teutonic Order. Some would sign up and give everything away, whether it be their money, their land, and their family. And then others would just sign up for small stints as half-brothers and visiting nobles, and only just small stints. So very popular. Instead of 3 years to Jerusalem, it was 3 months to Poland.
So the Teutonic Knights is where the fun is at, basically.
Yeah, well...
You throw that chivalry out the window and really get at it with the boys.
That's right. No flower of chivalry here, it's wartime.
So how do you get into reenactment? And how do you even get started in this hobby? Well, there are a lot of aspects to reenactment and living history, from the clothing and the weapons and the armour, and honestly, the whole thing can be quite overwhelming. So finding a good place to start is really important. Now, of course, you can dive in the deep end with 15th century living history, full plate suits of armour, and cut your teeth the hard way, like what we do at Call to Arms, but there are a lot of avenues to approaching this hobby. For me, KEG was a great place to start and find my footing in the world of reenactment. One of the advantages of portraying a monastic military order, it made a forgivable and approachable place for me to begin my journey in reenactment to lead me to the journey of where I am today.
Can you run us through some of the things that might be a good buy-in for people that are coming to reenactment for the first time here at KEG?
Well, straight away with our soft kit, we have, it's fairly easy to obtain. We have some brothers getting around in robes, mantles, and a pillbox hat. Other than your hose and shoes, that's it. Pretty easy to get into.
Yep.
And because of the earlier period, where it's all mail primarily rather than the plate, it's again, it might look a little bit hard, but it is a first easy step to get into reenactment, I feel, is getting that first set of mail. Once you've got your helmet, submits, you're good to go.
And then if you are interested in improving and moving into later periods with more expensive, more complex armour, there's scope for that also, isn't there?
Yeah, certainly, yes. The 14th century, even with the monastic order, they showed a little bit of ostentatious behaviour. They wanted to look good on the field, bit of bling, as it were, so there's always that chance of always improving your look. Fancy spurs, brand new sword, new helmet, less smelly Ackerton.
Excellent.
Reenactment is also all about people and community. One of the easiest ways to access reenactment is to come to one of these events and meet these reenactors in real life. They will love to share with you about history and their passion, and you can learn so much just by having a conversation. So find an event near you and go talk to these people and start your journey in reenactment. I was actually brought into this hobby through Ian, Sean's predecessor, who's been a massive inspiration and mentor in my journey through reenactment. It was his vision and spirit to see some skill and potential in me that's the reason why we're here at IronCrown doing what we do today. So if you're watching, Ian, thanks. You're a legend and couldn't have done it without you.
What drives me to the Teutons is the uniformity of the group. I was also recruited by Ian back in the day, and to just see the field of white surcoats and the black crosses was quite striking. And just the fact that they're quite unique in their amongst the other holy orders. The fact that they're still around today, they relied on a lot of mercenaries, they relied on a lot of half-brothers and serfs. So there's a lot of aspects in the Teutonic life. It's not just monastic, there's a lot going on. Yeah, I think that's why it's close to my heart.
I think what Sean mentioned before, the thing about Keg that I love the most is the sense of camaraderie and family. Getting into reenactment isn't necessarily easy, guys. There's lots of things to learn and understand and get through, and in order to do that, you need a group, you need a community, you need a family. And for me, that's what Keg was, and from Keg, I've been able to make other connections, meet Luke Binks, my mentor, and the armourer under whom I work at the moment, and so many opportunities have come out of having these guys, this group, under me as a foundation, as a family. And my special part that I get to leave with these guys are some of these great helms that you've seen us make on the channel. There's quite a few of them kicking around in this group, and Keg was also the place for me where I got to really bite my teeth down and actually figure out this experience of making armour for reenactors. So that was always my dream, to see helmets that I made at Abbey, and here we are, using them and fighting with them. So now that you're now running Knights Empire Germanica, where would you like to see the group go? Where would you like to see the Teutons move to in the future?
Well, ever upwards for me. I would love to recruit a few more members. Keg for me is all about camaraderie. We're all mates here. We're all brothers. We're all a family here. We eat together. We share tents together, shoulder to shoulder in battle. Yeah. We're always willing to bring new people into the fold, train them up, and start really working on the history. There's a lot of education that goes along with it, a lot of research that goes, and just Excelsior, which is always improving our look. Reenactment's not one of those things that you can achieve immediately. It's one of those slow creeps.
Exactly.
It's every year, just add to your impersonation, your impression, and ever increasing the quality.
And that's what reenactment is all about. At the end of the day, it's not about what standard you achieve or what level at which you're playing at. It's about the pursuit, and it's about the heart. What level you start at may depend on many things: budget, the groups around you, or what knowledge or resources are available to you. But the thing that unites us is the pursuit and passion for history, the ever-improving exploration of history, combat, and the world that was, and the camaraderie that goes right along with that pursuit. That, my friends, is what it's all about.
So come check out Knights Empire Germanica, check them out on Facebook, and if you're interested in reenactment, come along and talk to these people that are passionate about history, about German knights, and I can vouch from the bottom of my heart, these people are absolutely amazing. Sean, Sarah, fantastic people. Come along and check them out.
Got mittens!
Got mittens!